for business in general, the first thing we need to figure out is why did we get in this recession, and what did government do to make us get into this recession, and what can government do to try to get us out of the recession. I think government needs to get out of the way of business. We can't really help you with your job. You don't want us to help you with your job. You know more about it than I do. So what we need is lower taxes, less regulation, but you need certainty in your environment. People aren't investing because they're uncertain. The thing is, read the newspaper and you're more uncertain. I mean, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are guaranteed unlimited budget. People are uncertain because we're just giving them more money, giving AIG more money. I think if we balanced our budget, if you had a president that introduced a balanced budget, Congress passed it, can you imagine the enormous confidence that would then flow into the marketplace, and I think we'd pull out of a recession. Instead of doing the opposite where we just say, oh, here's another bailout, you know. Did you want to follow up?
It's almost like they think they loan me money because they're going to make me hire people, but thinking my phone ring makes me hire people. And so it's not just giving me money.
Right. And the difference is if we give money to certain people, we then give it to our friends. So the green crowd is big with Obama. He's given a ton of money to his buddies creating green jobs. But really, I want the jobs that we all vote for in the marketplace every day. You get voted on. You have a pure democratic capitalism marketplace. You get voted on every day whether you're going to succeed or fail. And it's a tough business world out there, but that drives you to be efficient in the distribution. It's that creative destruction of the marketplace. 9 out of 10 restaurants fail because everybody says, oh, we have to bail out the banks. 9 out of 10 restaurants fail. It's a tough business, but it breeds excellence in service and food. Same way with small businesses. When you get started, now if you've been in business a while, you have a good chance of getting a business. But the first year you open it up, you have probably 9 out of 10 chances you will fail. But we as Republicans don't believe we want the government to come in and let's have everybody succeed. Because then the marketplace wouldn't work and it would be inefficient distribution of goods.
Yeah, I work in the coal industry, and the coal industry is how I feed my family. And I was wondering, a lot of the people that come in, these miners and stuff, talk about how there was plenty of coal out there to get, but the government's regulating, taking the permits and stuff from them, just holding them down. Right. And I was wondering if there was anything we could do before opening up these permits and let these coal companies get the coal.
Yes, I think I would try to sunset and limit regulations that the EPA does. Now, it's not that there would be no regulations, but I think the regulations should be more at the state level than at the federal level. And then I also think that it makes a difference. For example, who owns the land? And in Perry County, y'all need to be deciding a lot. And I hear various points of view, but when I've been out there, I haven't heard that massive amounts of people are opposed to the way coal's being mined out there. I don't see that when I meet the people that live out there. So, but I would keep it down to the local a level as I can. And the other thing is if you're polluting your environment, who's going to be most concerned about it? People who live there. If you thought you were going to be dying from what was going on out there, and your family and your kids would be dying, you wouldn't be in favor of it, even if you had a job.
Oh, yeah.
You have to believe that what you're doing is not killing you and your family. And I think that's what the belief of the people who live out there is. But it's really about property. And I mean, people are so really emotional about this mountaintop mining, but to me, when I've driven by it, it's a quarry. I mean, it looks just like a quarry. And they've built hospitals on the flatland. I've seen ballparks. I've been to the one up in Hindman, the big ballpark up there. I just don't hear a lot of complaints from people who live out there. There's complaints from people who don't live out there. But that's why we as Republicans believe in more local control. It should be more and more devolved to the municipalities and counties, because then you can decide those things out there. Anybody else?
Senator Jay Rockefeller of West Virginia he's supporting basically a government takeover of the internet in the name of cybersecurity. What's your position on that and internet censorship?
I don't want the federal government involved with regulating the internet.
I'll tell you, Rand, one thing that I've noticed over the years, a lot of people on public assistance don't work. Technically, they don't work, but they do go out and work under the table and get paid in cash. And that always irks me because I'm paying my taxes, they're getting public assistance and they're getting paid in cash and not paying any taxes. So I would like to see, if you're elected, I would like to see a flat tax of a certain amount, but also a consumption tax, so at least the illegals and the people that are getting paid in cash to cut your grass or to do whatever, they have to pay some taxes. And that's my feeling.
You could do both ways. I mean, if you had a low enough flat income tax, you could have flat income tax and consumption, or you could go to all consumption. There's going to be a lot of resistance to going to all consumption because right now, if you look at the statistics, the top 10% of wage earners pay like 40 or 50% of the income tax. If you look at the top 50% of wage earners, that's from 70,000 up, they pay 96% of the income tax. So we've taken a lot of people off the bottom of the rolls, and you're right, some of those people are illegal and not paying but a consumption tax. They're paying state sales tax, but they're not paying anything but federal. I personally think that at every level of the socioeconomic ladder, you should pay some, because otherwise you don't feel any participation. And then when you vote, you're always voting for bigger government because you don't have to pay for it. So I think everybody should be paying something all throughout. And I don't want everybody to pay more, but I do think everybody should be paying some, so you're participating in the government.
Are you familiar with Northcom, a military unit that's fairly new, conducts missions inside the United States?
One more time, tell me again. Northcom, you're talking about the North American Command?
The new, fairly new Army unit charged with missions inside the United States. Do you believe it's unconstitutional?
There is the Posse Comitatus Act, which was to say that our soldiers should not be used in domestic situations. And I think most of us still believe that we shouldn't have them involved in domestic. I mean, you really want your sheriff and your local policeman in your town taking care of it. You really, I mean, I can't even imagine the situation where I want the federal government to send troops into London. You know, I just can't imagine that. We can do one more if we have one more. If not, thank you very much for having me.